Life in the UK Test. 120 simple questions to build confidence. Preparing for the Life in the UK Test 2026 and feeling overwhelmed. This beginner-friendly video features 120 simple Life in the UK Test questions and answers with clear explanations to help you build confidence and pass your British Citizenship Test on your first attempt. These easy and essential questions are carefully selected from the official Life in the UK Test Handbook and cover all the key topics you must understand before taking the real exam. Perfect for beginners, first-time test takers, and anyone applying for British citizenship or indefinite leave to remain. 120 questions covering all 5 official chapters including the values and principles of the UK. What is the UK? A long and illustrious history. A modern, thriving society. Scales the UK government, the law and your role. Practicing simple questions first is the best way to build strong confidence before attempting harder mock exams. Let's start. In which of the following languages is the Life in the UK Test not available? English, Scottish Gaelic, French, Welsh. The Life in the UK Test is usually taken as English, although special arrangements can be made if you wish to take it in Welsh or Scottish Gaelic. What is your responsibility as UK citizen? Select 2 answers. To go to your local pub. To help and protect your family. To vote in local and national government elections. To earn money. Although Britain is one of the world's most diverse societies, there is a set of shared values and responsibilities that everyone can agree with. These values and responsibilities include, to obey and respect the law, to be aware of the rights of others and respect those rights, to treat others with fairness, to behave responsibly, to help and protect your family, to respect and preserve the environment, to treat everyone equally, regardless of sex, race, religion, age, disability, class or sexual orientation, to work to provide for yourself and your family, to help others, to vote in local and national government elections. If you think someone is trying to persuade you to join an extremist or terrorist cause, who should you notify? Police force, council office, church, MP. Police force. If you think someone is trying to persuade you to join an extremist or terrorist cause, you should notify your local police force. When did the first farmers start settling in Britain? 10,000 years ago. 4,000 years ago. 6,000 years ago. 8,500 years ago. The first farmers arrived in Britain about 6,000 years ago. The ancestors of these first farmers probably came from Southeast Europe. These people built houses, tombs, and monuments on the land. How long can you use an EU driving license for? 12 months. As long as it's valid. 2 years. 5 years. As long as it's valid. If your driving license is from a country in the European Union, EU, Iceland, Liechtenstein or Norway, you can drive in the UK for as long as your license is valid, subject to UK license renewal requirements, at the age of 70, or 3 years after the driver becomes resident. If you have a license from any other country, you may use it in the UK for up to 12 months. Which 2 will you be agreeing with when applying to become a permanent resident? To remain in the UK forever. To respect the law, values and traditions of the UK. To accept the responsibilities which come with a settlement. To support the coalition government. You should accept all responsibilities that come with permanent residency and fundamental principles of British life. What is the name given to the PM's country house? Chequers. Windsor Palace. Quaker. Country retreat. Chequers. The official home of the Prime Minister is 10 Downing Street, in central London, near the Houses of Parliament. He or she also has a country house outside London called Chequers. Who is responsible for the economy? Home Secretary. Secretary of State. Chancellor of the Exchequer. Foreign Secretary. Chancellor of the Exchequer. The Prime Minister appoints about 20 senior MPs to become ministers in charge of departments. These include Chancellor of the Exchequer, responsible for the economy, Home Secretary, responsible for crime, policing and immigration, Foreign Secretary, responsible for managing relationships with foreign countries. Other ministers, called Secretaries of State, are responsible for subjects such as education, health and defence. In year 1066, William the Conqueror invaded England in which battle? Battle of Britain. Battle of Hastings. Battle of Agincourt. Battle of Culloden. Battle of Hastings. In 1066, an invasion led by William, the Duke of Normandy, in what is now northern France, defeated Harold, the Saxon King of England, at the Battle of Hastings. Harold was killed in the battle. William became King of England and is known as William the Conqueror. The battle is commemorated in a great piece of embroidery, known as the Bayeux Tapestry, which can still be seen in France today. What is the official report that contains everything said in Parliament called? The Government Report. The Domesday Book. Hansard. The Government Press. Hansard. Proceedings in Parliament are broadcast on television and published in official reports called Hansard. You must treat everyone equally, regardless of sex, race, age, religion, disability, class or sexual orientation. True or false? The statement is true. Oliver Cromwell took the title King of Ireland. True or false? False. Cromwell was given the title of Lord Protector and ruled until his death in 1658. Henry VIII took the title King of Ireland. Saint Augustine led missionaries from Rome. Where did he spread Christianity? In the north. In the west. In the east. In the south. In the south. The Anglo-Saxons were not Christians when they first came to Britain, but, during this period, missionaries came to Britain to preach about Christianity. Missionaries from Ireland spread the religion in the north. The most famous of these was Saint Patrick, who would become the patron saint of Ireland, and Saint Columba, who founded a monastery on the island of Iona, off the coast of what is now Scotland. Saint Augustine led missionaries from Rome, who spread Christianity in the south. Saint Augustine became the first Archbishop of Canterbury. What does the UK offer to its residents? Freedom of belief and religion. Luxurious life. Free TV license. Untaxed income. In return, the UK offers freedom of belief and religion, freedom of speech, freedom from unfair discrimination, a right to a fair trial, a right to join in the election of a government. Which of these is not a valid banknote? £100, £50, £20, £5. £100. The currency in the UK is the pound sterling. There are 100 pence in a pound. The values of currency are coins, 1p, 2p, 5p, 10p, 20p, 50p, £1 and £2, notes, £5, £10, £20, £50. What is the divine right of kings? Reduce the power of the king. Reduce the power of the nobles. The king was appointed by God. Increased power of the parliament. The king was appointed by God. Divine right of kings is the idea that the king was directly appointed by God to rule. The king should be able to act without having to seek approval from Parliament. After the Roses' Wars, how Henry Tudor united two families. Killed House O' Lancaster. Married Elizabeth of York. Married Mary Tudor. Defeated Richard III. Married Elizabeth of York. The Wars of the Roses were fought between the House of Lancaster, Red Rose, and the House of York, White Rose, over the English throne. The conflict ended at the Battle of Bosworth Field, where King Richard III was defeated by Henry Tudor, who became Henry VII. His marriage to Elizabeth of York united the two houses, symbolized by the Tudor rose, a red and white rose combined. What is the fundamental principle of British life? The rule of law. Taking part in festivals. Supporting your local team. Attending a church on Sundays. The rule of law is one of the fundamental principles of British life. What do many theatres produce at Christmas time? Tragedy play. Pantomime. Huge display. New Year's celebration. Pantomime. One British tradition is the pantomime. Many theatres produce a pantomime at Christmas time. They are based on fairy stories and are light-hearted plays with music and comedy, enjoyed by family audiences. One of the traditional characters is the Dame, a woman played by a man. There is often also a pantomime horse or cow played by two actors in the same costume. When did the first farmers start settling in Britain? 10,000 years ago. 4,000 years ago. 6,000 years ago. 8,500 years ago. The first farmers arrived in Britain about 6,000 years ago. The ancestors of these first farmers probably came from Southeast Europe. These people built houses, tombs, and monuments on the land. Until what time do people play jokes on one another on April Fool's Day? all day. Until 9 p.m. Until 11 a.m. Until midday. Until midday. April Fool's Day, the 1st of April, is a day when people play jokes on each other until midday. The television and newspapers often have stories that are April Fool jokes. After Cromwell defeated Charles II at Worcester, where did Charles II hide? In an oak tree. In a field. In a lake. In a house. In an oak tree. The Scots had not agreed to the execution of Charles I and declared his son Charles II to be king. He was crowned King of Scotland and led a Scottish army into England. Cromwell defeated this army in the battles of Dunbar and Worcester. Charles II escaped from Worcester, famously hiding in an oak tree on one occasion, and eventually fled to Europe. How often do the PM's questions take place? Every year. Every month. Every day. Every week. Every week. The leader of the opposition leads his or her party in pointing out what they see as the government's failures and weaknesses. One important opportunity to do this is at Prime Minister's Questions, which takes place every week while Parliament is sitting. Where in the UK government sitting? Stormont. Holyrood. Downing Street. Westminster. Westminster. The UK is governed by the Parliament sitting in Westminster. Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland also have parliaments or assemblies of their own, with devolved powers in defined areas. Which TWO houses formed the House of Tudor? House of Commons. House of York. House of Lancaster. House of Lords. King Richard III of the House of York was killed in the battle and Henry Tudor, the leader of the House of Lancaster, became King Henry VII. Henry then married King Richard's niece, Elizabeth of York, and united the two families. Henry was the first king of the House of Tudor. The symbol of the House of Tudor was a red rose with a white rose inside it as a sign that the houses of York and Lancaster were now allies. What do you need to apply for UK citizenship? Speak and read English. Have a driving license. Have a university degree. Be able to use computers in English. To apply to become a permanent resident or citizen of the UK, you will need to speak and read English, have a good understanding of life in the UK. Which of these UK landmarks is in Wales? Snowdonia. Loch Lomond. The Giant's Causeway. The Lake District. Snowdonia is a national park in North Wales. It covers an area of 838 square miles. Its most well-known landmark is Snowdon, which is the highest mountain in Wales. How long did the 100 Years' War last for? 100 years. 97 years. 116 years. 108 years. (116 years). English kings fought a long war with France, called the 100 Years' War, even though it actually lasted 116 years. One of the most famous battles of the Hundred Years' War was the Battle of Agincourt in 1415, where King Henry V's vastly outnumbered English army defeated the French. The English left France in the 1450s. Blood and organ donations are compulsory in the UK. True or false? False. It's a donation, thus it's not compulsory. Donated blood is used by hospitals to help people with a wide range of injuries and illnesses. Giving blood only takes about an hour to do. Easter eggs are often given as presents at Easter as a symbol of new life. True or false? True. Easter is also celebrated by people who are not religious. Easter eggs are chocolate eggs often given as presents at Easter as a symbol of new life. Who is the heir to the throne? Prince Henry, Prince George, Prince Philip, Prince William. Prince William. The king has reigned since his mother's death in September 2022. He is married to Queen Camilla. His eldest son, Prince William, the Prince of Wales, is the heir to the throne. Who in 2002 was voted the greatest Briton of all time? Margaret Thatcher, Winston Churchill, Clement Attlee, Sir Robert Walpole. In 2002, Winston Churchill was voted the greatest Briton of all time by the public. Who built the Tower of London? Henry VIII, William the Conqueror, Richard III, Edward I. William the Conqueror built as a fortress in 1066 after the Norman conquest. Who had a great influence on the English language? William Shakespeare, Wilfred Owen, David Lean, Oliver Cromwell. William Shakespeare had a great influence on the English language and invented many words that are still common today. How often do you have to take the MOT test for an old vehicle? Every 3 years. Every 2 years. Every year. Every 5 years. Every year. If your vehicle is over 3 years old, you must take it to the Ministry of Transport, MOT, test every year. It is an offence not to have a MOT certificate if your vehicle is more than 3 years old. Which one is not a valid UK coin? 2 pence, 25 pence, 50 pence, 5 pence. £25p. The valid UK coin including 1 penny, 2 pence, 5 pence, 10 pence, 20 pence, 50 pence, £1 and £2. What was the Black Death? A form of plague. Lack of food. A battle. Lack of water. In 1348, a disease, probably a form of plague, came to Britain. This was known as the Black Death. 1/3 of the population of England died and a similar proportion in Scotland and Wales. Where does the Prime Minister reside? 1 Devonshire Terrace, the Buckingham Palace, 10 Downing Street, 76 Charlotte Street. Downing Street. The official home of the Prime Minister is 10 Downing Street, in central London, near the Houses of Parliament. He or she also has a country house outside London called Chequers. What is not a fundamental principle of British life? Treating others with fairness. Looking after yourself and family. Driving a car. Looking after environment. Driving a car is not one of the fundamental principles of British life. Which is a famous area in London for theatres? East End, the City, South End, West End. West End. There are theatres in most towns and cities throughout the UK, ranging from the large to the small. They are an important part of local communities and often show both professional and amateur productions. London's West End, also known as Theatreland, is particularly well known. The Mousetrap, a murder mystery play by Dame Agatha Christie, has been running in the West End since 1952 and has had the longest initial run of any show in history. What symbol is worn on Remembrance Day? Rose, poppy, lily, clover. Poppy. People wear poppies, the red flower found on the battlefields of the First World War. Which country's flag is not part of the Union flag? England, Scotland, Ireland, Wales. Wales. The Welsh dragon is not part of the Union flag because when the first Union flag was created in 1606 from the flags of Scotland and England, the Principality of Wales was already united with England. Who should you contact to get your national insurance number? Local government. The Home Secretary. Your local school. DWP, Department for Work and Pensions. DWP, Department for Work and Pensions. You will need to contact the Department for Work and Pensions, DWP, to arrange to get a national insurance number. The Domesday Book was used to record laws, list property for taxes, document feudal oaths, map cities. List property for taxes. The Domesday Book was used to create a comprehensive record of land ownership and resources in England after the Norman Conquest. It documented who owned land, its value, and what taxes could be collected. Whose powers were increased by the Bill of Rights of 1689? Parliaments, prisoners, kings, slaves. Parliaments. The Bill of Rights, 1689, confirmed the rights of Parliament and the limits of the King's power. Parliament took control of who could be monarch and declared that the King or Queen must be a Protestant. A new Parliament had to be elected at least every 3 years. Which tribes invaded Britain after the Romans had left? The Jutes and the Anglo-Saxons. The Vikings. The Normans. The Celtics. The Roman army left Britain in AD 410 to defend other parts of the Roman Empire and never returned. Britain was again invaded by tribes from Northern Europe, the Jutes, the Angles, and the Saxons. Where is the UK geographically located with respect to Europe? Northeast. Northwest. Southeast. Southwest. The UK is located in the northwest of Europe. What is the UK currency? Euro. Dollar. Pound sterling. Franc. Pound sterling. The currency in the UK is the pound sterling. There are 100 pence in a pound. Who resides in 10 Downing Street? The Prime Minister. The Speaker. The President. King Charles III. The Prime Minister. The official home of the Prime Minister is 10 Downing Street, in central London, near the Houses of Parliament. He or she also has a country house outside London called Chequers. Which monarch was executed after the English Civil War? James I. Charles I. Charles II. Richard II. Charles I was tried and executed in 1649. What proportion of the population died because of the Black Death? 1/5, 1/4, 1/2, 1/3. One-third of the population of England and a similar proportion in Scotland and Wales died because of the Black Death. Which day is Christmas Day? The 24th of December. The 25th of December. The 26th of December. The 31st of December. The 25th of December. Christmas Day on the 25th of December celebrates the birth of Jesus Christ. It is a public holiday. Many Christians go to church on Christmas Eve, the 24th of December, or on Christmas Day itself. What is Boxing Day? A sports day. A bank holiday. A religious day. A working day. A bank holiday. Boxing Day, the 26th of December, is the day after Christmas Day and is a public holiday. Queen Elizabeth II was married to Prince Philip. True or false? True. The statement is true. Where is Snowdonia located? Wales. West England. North England. Scotland. Wales. Snowdonia is a national park in North Wales. It covers an area of 838 square miles, 2,170 square kilometers. Its most well-known landmark is Snowdon, which is the highest mountain in Wales. People living in the UK must pay tax on which of the following two? Income from property, savings and dividends. Student loans. Wages from paid employment. Payday loans. Income from property, savings and dividends. And wages from paid employment. People in the UK have to pay tax on their income, which includes wages from paid employment, profits from self-employment, taxable benefits, pensions, income from property, savings and dividends. James VI of Scotland was not related to Queen Elizabeth I of England. True or false? False. James VI of Scotland was the son of Mary, Queen of Scots. She was suspected of involvement in her husband's murder and fled to England. Mary was also a cousin of Queen Elizabeth I, so that James VI was related to Queen Elizabeth I. What is the name of the UK national anthem? Rule Britannia. God Save the King. Land of Hope and Glory. Jerusalem. God Save the King. The national anthem of the UK is God Save the King. It is played at important national occasions and at events attended by the King or the royal family. The first verse is, God save our gracious King. Long live our noble King. God save the King. Send her victorious. Happy and glorious. Long to reign over us. God save the King. New citizens swear or affirm loyalty to the King as part of the citizenship ceremony. Which of these are British overseas territories? USA and Australia. St. Helena and Falkland Islands. The Channel Islands and the Isle of Man. St. Helena and the Isle of Man. There are also several British overseas territories in other parts of the world, such as St. Helena and the Falkland Islands. They are also linked to the UK but are not a part of it. On Valentine's Day, people exchange gifts and cards and send anonymous cards to people they secretly admire. True or false? It's true. Valentine's Day, the 14th of February, is when lovers exchange cards and gifts. Sometimes people send anonymous cards to someone they secretly admire. What are traditional pub games? Select 2. Lottery. Pool. Darts. Slots. Pool and darts are traditional pub games. Who became Prime Minister during World War II? Tony Blair. Margaret Thatcher. Robert Walpole. Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill. Hitler invaded Poland and took control of Belgium and the Netherlands. At this time of national crisis, Winston Churchill became Prime Minister. What are Halloween lanterns traditionally made out of? Pumpkins. Apples. Cucumbers. Potatoes. Pumpkins. Halloween, the 31st of October, is an ancient festival and has roots in the pagan festival to mark the beginning of winter. Young people will often dress up in frightening costumes to play trick or treat. People give them treats to stop them playing tricks on them. A lot of people carve lanterns out of pumpkins and put a candle inside. There is a dragon on the official flag of Wales. True or false? True. The official flag of Wales features a red Welsh dragon. However, the dragon does not appear on the Union flag because when the first Union flag was created in 1606, Wales was already united with England and was not represented separately. Which country is not part of the UK? England, Scotland, Wales, Republic of Ireland. Republic of Ireland. The UK is made up of England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. The rest of Ireland is an independent country. The Blitz is associated with which event? The UK and Germany bombing French cities. The UK evacuating troops from Dunkirk. Germany bombing British cities. The UK bombing German cities. Germany bombing British cities. Despite winning the Battle of Britain, the German Air Force was able to continue bombing London and other British cities at nighttime. This was called the Blitz. When did Britain become separated from the continent? 10,000 years ago. 8,000 years ago. 6,000 years ago. 4,000 years ago. "10,000 years ago. Britain only became permanently separated from the continent by the Channel about 10,000 years ago. What age can people vote in a UK general election? 16, 17, 18, 21. The UK has had a fully democratic voting system since 1928. The present voting age of 18 was set in 1969 and all UK-born and naturalised adult citizens have the right to vote. What is the official name of the country? The UK and Ireland. The United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Great Britain. United Kingdom. The official name of the country is the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Great Britain refers only to England, Scotland, and Wales, not to Northern Ireland. Which two are compulsory in the UK if you own an old car? Mortgage. Life insurance. Car insurance. A valid MOT test certificate. Car insurance and a valid MOT test certificate. It is an offence not to have an MOT certificate if your vehicle is more than 3 years old or without car insurance. Who appoints the Prime Minister? The public. The monarch. Parliament. The Cabinet. The monarch. The monarch invites the leader of the party with the largest number of MPs, or the leader of a coalition between more than one party, to become the Prime Minister. When is Valentine's Day? 14th of February. 23rd of April. 31st of December. 16th of December. Fourteenth of February. Valentine's Day, the 14th of February, is when lovers exchange cards and gifts. Sometimes people send anonymous cards to someone they secretly admire. What can schools do to raise money? Organize events. Ask parents for money. Ask the local council for extra funding. Reduce teachers' wages. Organize events. Many schools organize events to raise money for extra equipment or out-of-school activities. Activities might include book sales, toy sales, or bringing food to sell. Who established the Church of England? Edward II. Henry VIII. Charles II. The Pope. Henry VIII. To divorce his first wife, Henry needed the approval of the Pope. When the Pope refused, Henry established the Church of England. In this new church, the king, not the Pope, would have the power to appoint bishops and order how people should worship. What is the main purpose of the opposition? To challenge the government. To change laws. To represent the people of the UK. To participate in public debates. To challenge the government. The opposition form the shadow cabinet and their role is to challenge the government and put forward alternative policies. Who is the head of state of the UK? The Prime Minister. The King. The Speaker. The Mayor of London. The King. King Charles III is the head of state of the UK. He is also the monarch or head of state for many countries in the Commonwealth. What followed the Bronze Age? The Iron Age. The Stone Age. The Silver Age. The Medieval Period. The Iron Age. The Bronze Age was followed by the Iron Age, when people learned how to make weapons and tools out of iron. What is the capital of Scotland? Belfast. Cardiff. London. Edinburgh. Edinburgh is the capital city of Scotland. When did the First World War end? 9th of May. 11th of November. 18th of August. 9th of July. of November. The First World War ended at 11:00 a.m. on the 11th of November 1918 with victory for Britain and its allies. Who led the invasion of England in 1066? King Alfred the Great. Harold the Saxon King. William the Duke of Normandy. Julius Caesar. William the Duke of Normandy. In 1066, an invasion led by William, the Duke of Normandy, in what is now northern France, defeated Harold, the Saxon King of England, at the Battle of Hastings. Harold was killed in the battle. William became King of England and is known as William the Conqueror. The battle is commemorated in a great piece of embroidery, known as the Bayeux Tapestry, which can still be seen in France today. What is the capital city of the UK? Manchester, Birmingham, London, Edinburgh. London. The capital city of the UK is London. Where does the UK government sit? Stormont, Westminster, Holyrood, Senedd. The UK is governed by the Parliament sitting in Westminster. When was the Giant's Causeway formed? 50 million years ago. 40 million years ago. 70 million years ago. 60 million years ago. $50 million years ago. Located on the northeast coast of Northern Ireland, the Giant's Causeway is a land formation of columns made from volcanic lava. It was formed about 50 million years ago. There are many legends about the causeway and how it was formed. What became the symbol of the House of Tudor? A red and white rose. A red rose. A white rose. A pink rose. A red and white rose. This war was called the Wars of the Roses, because the symbol of Lancaster was a red rose and the symbol of York was a white rose. The war ended with the Battle of Bosworth Field in 1485. The House of Lancaster won. The symbol of the House of Tudor was a red rose with a white rose inside it as a sign that the houses of York and Lancaster were now allies. How can you help looking after the environment? Studying your area. Not smoking in public. Going shopping carefully. Recycling your waste. Recycling your waste. It is important to recycle as much of your waste as you can. Using recycled materials to make new products uses less energy and means that we do not need to extract more raw materials from the earth. It also means that less rubbish is created, so the amount being put into landfill is reduced. Who can get a 50% discount on their TV license? Students. Deaf people. Army officers. Blind people. Blind people. People over 75 can apply for a free TV license and blind people can get a 50% discount. Which event is celebrated on the 5th of November each year? The end of the First World War. A plot to blow up the Houses of Parliament in 1605. The defeat of the Spanish Armada. The end of the Second World War. A plot to blow up the Houses of Parliament in 1605. Bonfire Night, the 5th of November, is an occasion when people in Great Britain set off fireworks at home or in special displays. The origin of this celebration was an event in 1605, when a group of Catholics led by Guy Fawkes failed in their plan to kill the Protestant king with a bomb in the Houses of Parliament. Which of these are Crown dependencies? Ireland and the Channel Islands. The Channel Islands and the Isle of Man. St. Helena and Wales. St. Helena and Falkland Islands. The Channel Islands and the Isle of Man are closely related to the UK but are not part of it. They have their own governments and are called Crown dependencies. What happens at 11 o'clock on the Remembrance Day? A 2-minute silence. A 10-second silence. A 30-second silence. A 1-minute silence. A 2-minute silence. Remembrance Day, the 11th of November, commemorates those who died fighting for the UK and its allies. Originally it commemorated the dead of the First World War, which ended on the 11th of November 1918. People wear poppies, the red flower found on the battlefields of the First World War. At 11 o'clock am there is a 2-minute silence and wreaths are laid at the Cenotaph in Whitehall, London. You need to buy a TV license if there are no TVs in your house but you watch TV programs on your mobile phone. True or false? True. You must pay for a license to watch TV through any medium. What were the working conditions like during the Industrial Revolution? Very poor. Best in the world. Acceptable. Average. Very poor. Working conditions during the Industrial Revolution were very poor. There were no laws to protect employees, who were often forced to work long hours in dangerous situations. Children also worked and were treated in the same way as adults. When is Boxing Day? The day before Easter. The day before Christmas Day. The day after Christmas Day. The day after Easter. The day after Christmas Day. Boxing Day, 26th of December, is the day after Christmas Day, 25th of December, and is a public holiday. When is Halloween celebrated? 31st of October. 30th of October. 30th of November. 31st of November. Halloween, the 31st of October, is an ancient festival and has roots in the pagan festival to mark the beginning of winter. Young people will often dress up in frightening costumes to play trick or treat. People give them treats to stop them playing tricks on them. A lot of people carve lanterns out of pumpkins and put a candle inside. What tools did the Bronze Age people introduce? Roads. Ornaments and weapons. Basic farming machinery. Gold currency. Ornaments and weapons. The people of the Bronze Age were accomplished metalworkers who made many beautiful objects in bronze and gold, including tools, ornaments, and weapons. How old do you have to be to buy a lottery ticket or a scratch card? 17. 15. 16. 18. As of 2021, people under 18 are not allowed to participate in the national lottery, previously 16. This includes buying scratch cards. Who was Queen Elizabeth II married to? Prince Philip. King Charles III. Prince Harry. Prince William. Prince Philip. Queen Elizabeth II reigned since her father's death in 1952. She celebrated her Diamond Jubilee, i.e. 60 years as Queen, until she passed away in 2022. She was married to Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh. Her eldest son, King Charles III, previously known as the Prince of Wales, became the sovereign monarch in 2022. His eldest son, heir to the throne, Prince William, is the new Prince of Wales. Which countries are in Great Britain? England, Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland. Wales, Northern Ireland, Scotland. England, Scotland, Ireland. England, Wales, Scotland. Great Britain consists of 3 countries, England, Wales, and Scotland. The official name of the country is the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Great Britain refers only to England, Scotland, and Wales, not to Northern Ireland. What did the Romans introduce to Britain? Christianity. New machinery. New food and cloth. New plants and animals. New plants and animals. The Romans remained in Britain for 400 years. They built roads and public buildings, created a structure of law, and introduced new plants and animals. When is the bonfire night celebrated? The 5th of November. The 28th of November. The 28th of October. The 31st of October. The 5th of November. Bonfire Night, the 5th of November, is an occasion when people in Great Britain set off fireworks at home or in special displays. The origin of this celebration was an event in 1605, when a group of Catholics led by Guy Fawkes failed in their plan to kill the Protestant king with a bomb in the Houses of Parliament. What was built as part of the UK's celebration of the new millennium? The London Eye. The Eden Project. The Tower of London. Big Ben. The London Eye is situated on the southern bank of the River Thames and is a Ferris wheel that is 443 feet, 135 meters, tall. It was originally built as part of the UK's celebration of the new millennium and continues to be an important part of New Year celebrations. Who were the first people to start living in Britain? Pirates. Hunter-gatherers. Inventors. The Romans. Hunter-gatherers. The first people to live in Britain were hunter-gatherers, in what we call the Stone Age. Who sat in the House of Lords in the Middle Ages? Wealthy people. The nobility and great landowners. Knights. Every landowner. The nobility, great landowners, and bishops sat in the House of Lords. The King Charles III eldest son, Prince William, is also known as the King of Ireland, the Prince of Wales, the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Harry. The Prince of Wales. Queen Elizabeth II reigned since her father's death in 1952. She celebrated her Diamond Jubilee, i.e. 60 years as Queen, until she passed away in 2022. She was married to Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh. Her eldest son, King Charles III, previously known as the Prince of Wales, became the sovereign monarch in 2022. His eldest son, heir to the throne, Prince William is the new Prince of Wales. Where can you find crown jewels? Queen's House in Greenwich. The National Museum. The Buckingham Palace. The Tower of London. The Tower of London was first built by William the Conqueror after he became king in 1066. Tours are given by the yeoman warders, also known as beefeaters, who tell visitors about the building's history. People can also see the crown jewels there. When did the Romans successfully invade Britain? 43 AD. 63 AD. 63 BC. 55 BC. (43 AD). Julius Caesar led a Roman invasion of Britain in 55 BC. This was unsuccessful, and for nearly 100 years Britain remained separate from the Roman Empire. In AD 43 the Emperor Claudius led the Roman army in a new invasion. This time, there was resistance from some of the British tribes, but the Romans were successful in occupying almost all of Britain. Which of the following is part of the UK? Wales, Channel Islands, Canada, St. Helena. The United Kingdom consists of Wales, England, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. Who is known as William the Conqueror? William, the Duke of Edinburgh. William, the Duke of Lyon. William, the Duke of France. William, the Duke of Normandy. William, the Duke of Normandy. In 1066, an invasion led by William, the Duke of Normandy, in what is now northern France, defeated Harold, the Saxon King of England, at the Battle of Hastings. Harold was killed in the battle. William became King of England and is known as William the Conqueror. Which party did Margaret Thatcher belong to? Conservative, UKIP, Labour, Liberal Democrats. Conservative. Margaret Thatcher, Britain's first woman Prime Minister, led the Conservative government from 1979 to 1990. Who appoints the members of the Cabinet? The people of the UK. The Speaker. The Monarch. The Prime Minister. The Prime Minister appoints about 20 senior MPs to become ministers in charge of departments which together form the Cabinet. What did the first farmers build in Britain? Houses and monuments. Tombs and stadiums. Theatres and houses. Hospitals and roads. Houses and monuments. The first farmers built houses, tombs, and monuments on the land. What kind of games people would play at pubs? Table tennis. Cards. Video game. Pool and darts. Pool and darts. Public houses, pubs, are an important part of the UK social culture. Many people enjoy meeting friends in the pub. Most communities will have a local pub that is a natural focal point for social activities. Pub quizzes are popular. Pool and darts are traditional pub games. Where did the people of the Bronze Age bury their dead? Gardens, round barrows, graveyards, coffin houses. Round barrows. People lived in roundhouses and buried their dead in tombs called round barrows. Select 2 popular social networking websites. Twitter, Facebook, email, telephone. Twitter and Facebook. Social networking websites such as Facebook and Twitter are a popular way for people to stay in touch with friends, organize social events, and share photos, videos, and opinions. Many people use social networking on their mobile phones when out and about. Which of the events is the bombing of English cities by the Germans? The Dunkirk Spirit, D-Day, the Battle of Britain, the Blitz. The Blitz was the German Air Force bombing London and other British cities at night time. The phrase, the Blitz spirit, is still used today to describe Britons pulling together in the face of adversity. What is the capital of Wales? Belfast, Edinburgh, Cardiff, London. Cardiff is the capital of Wales. What is the period after the Norman conquest up until 1485 called? The Iron Age, the Bronze Age, the Stone Age, the Middle Ages. The Middle Ages. The period after the Norman conquest up until about 1485 is called the Middle Ages or the Medieval Period. It was a time of almost constant war. Under which king did the people unite to defeat the Vikings? King William, King Alfred the Great, Henry I, Harold. King Alfred the Great. The Anglo-Saxon kingdoms in England united under King Alfred the Great, who defeated the Vikings. What is the capital of Wales? Cardiff, Swansea, Edinburgh, Belfast. Cardiff is the capital city of Wales. Who was the first woman Prime Minister? Mary Peters, Elizabeth Brown, Florence Nightingale, Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher. In 1979, Margaret Thatcher became the first woman Prime Minister of the UK. She was the longest-serving Prime Minister of the 20th century, remaining in office until 1990. So, how confident are you feeling now? Remember, to pass the Life in the UK test, you need at least 75% correct answers. If you're working through this playlist, you're already giving yourself a huge advantage. If you're scoring close to 75% or more, you're already ahead of many test takers. UK history can feel challenging, but once you understand the timeline, everything clicks. Keep practicing, stay focused, and move on to more advanced questions when you're ready. Every question you learn brings you closer to British citizenship. Like the video if it helped you. Comment your score below. Subscribe for more Life in the UK test practice, mock exams, and study guides. Stay confident, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next video.